Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss about how a person can install Python in his or her system. So to install Python in the system there are three basic steps a person needs to follow. The first step is to install Anaconda, second is to install Pycharm, and third and the final step is to we have to actually run some basic code and check whether or not the installation has been done properly. So let's start installing the Anaconda and complete our step 1. So for that we have to actually go to Anaconda. You can just type in Anaconda Python in Google. So as soon as you type in that, we will actually see this website as www.anaconda.com. So if you click on that, you will see this particular page coming up, and here we actually need to download our edition. So here we actually have multiple editions. The one we are looking for is the individual edition. There are other editions also, like we have the enterprise edition, or those particular other editions are not the community versions but the professional versions, so they are not free. But as as an individual, if you want to download, you can simply click in the individual edition, and this will take you to a page where you can see exactly the download link. So here if I scroll down, I'll see the Anaconda installers. So depending on the operating system you are in, so we have these three operating systems: Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. So depending on whatever operating system you are in, you need to download this particular installer. Here you have to make a small check, that is, if you're on a Windows system, please check whether or not your graphic card is a 64-bit or a 32-bit. So depending on what is the graphic card specifications, you need to select the appropriate installer. Most of the new systems that are available in the market right now are usually 64-bit graphic installer. So you have to click on those particular link. So since I'm on a Windows system, I'll just click on this thing, and this will automatically, it will start downloading the exe file for us. Okay, and as we already have seen that this is around 500 MB in size, so it might take a few minutes to download this particular software. Okay, so I'll be cancelling this particular exe file because I already have it in my system. So now if you actually click, once the download is complete and you actually have the Anaconda exe file ready in your system, all you have to do is double click on this, and it is going to take you through the steps that are required. You can actually follow the default settings and you can install Anaconda in our system. So let's say I click on next, agree, and if you go by the recommended settings, it is just me. Then it will ask you for the path where you want to install it, and preferably just go with the default path. The only check that you have to mention is the space required is usually around 3 GB. So you should have that kind of space inside your system for this particular installation to be complete. So as soon as you click next, this particular page is going to come. So here we have add Anaconda 3 to my path environment. So here it is mentioning as not recommended, but I would suggest you click on this click this, then what would happen is you would be able to open your Anaconda from any direction or any folder in the system. So that is the reason it's advisable to um, add Anaconda to the path environment. Okay. Now since I already have Anaconda installed in my system, I'm going to hit on cancel. But you can actually follow this particular uh, instructions and complete your installation. Once the Anaconda is installed, the next step that we have is we have to install the Pycharm. So the steps which we have actually followed for installing Anaconda, we can do the same thing. So I'll just type in Pycharm, and as soon as I hit Pycharm, the first link is that of JetBrains. So www.jetbrains.com, here it's already in the first link, and here we have this neat link which will directly take us to the download Pycharm page. So if I click on download Pycharm, it's going to take me to this option wherein we have the professional edition and the community edition. So just like in Anaconda, uh, we saw there were professional edition and the community edition. The community edition is free, whereas the professional edition usually there's some kind of fee that is associated with it. So similar to what we have done in Anaconda, you can click on the download button and then you can follow the particular default settings and you can install the PyCharm in the system. So once PyCharm is downloaded and installed in the system, the third and the final step that we had was we have to actually open our particular settings, or let's say if you we have to simply open the PyCharm and we have to run a basic code in our system to check whether or not Anaconda or and PyCharm is installed correctly. So to do that, let me open my PyCharm. Okay. When it comes to PyCharm, usually the first time when you open PyCharm, it is going to ask you a few things and it is then going to permit you to open a new project. But if you usually have the last working file that you had used, so in my case, I already have this environment called my books that was open previously, and that was the last file I was working on. So when I'm opening PyCharm, it defaults to that particular project. So automatically it is going to open my books project for me now. For trying out a basic code, so let's say I'm going to open a new .py file. So I'm going to click on new Python file, and let's say I'm just going to write this as test file. So we can give a name to this particular file. So when I click on test file, and it's going to open it here. Now just because we are only trying out a basic command, so I'll simply say print, and inside print, let's say the first code that we might write is hello world. Okay, so let's run this particular code. So as soon as I run the code, we we can see in this Python console hello world is printed to us. So everything has been installed successfully in the system. So this check will make sure that our installations have done properly. Okay. This is what I had for you regarding the installation process of Python in the system.